Hi, welcome back to the Speakerstack music channel. In this video we're going to continue to look at how I created a techno rock song in Ableton. I've done some previous videos on other elements of the drum kit. Previous video focused on the kick, and we also did one on the snare. The last video had a look at the toms. In this video we're going to have a look at the hi-hats, and for that we've set up two separate instrument channels for two different hi-hat sounds that we've got going on in the song. We've got a closed hi-hat and we've got an open hi-hat. I wanted both in there because they complement each other in the sound. So these tracks have both been set up as MIDI instrument channels. You can do that by right-clicking and then going insert MIDI track. So I've done that, and I've dropped in one for the closed hats and one for the open hats. And then what I've done is I have used Impulse's instrument here and dragged that into both of the channels. And what that essentially gives you is a blank template where you can actually create your own drum kit. And rather than have the whole of the drum kit on a single instrument channel with all elements of the kit moving, being added across all of these boxes here, so you can build up a drum kit as part of a single Impulse instrument, I've actually taken each part of the drum kit and created a separate instrument channel. So each of these channels relates to a different part of the drum kit, and these two channels relate to the different hi-hats that we've got going on, and each of them has got their own Impulse instrument dropped into those channels. What that allows me really to do is to have more versatility for each of the hi-hat sounds and change them a little bit depending on what I want. So on channel 6 we've got the closed hats. Again, I dropped in an Impulse template, and then I went into the samples section here and typed in hi-hat. And then it gives you all of the hi-hats that you've got down here. You can click through and you can click on them and audition them. And I went for the hi-hat parallel closed for that particular hi-hat channel. And then again for the open hats, again, in Impulse template, you go in, and for that one I found a hi-hat silver open. And they're both doing different things. So for the closed hats, this is quite a rhythmic sound that I wanted throughout a lot of the song, that's added on the offbeat for each of the bars. So I'll just play you a section of it and you'll get an idea of how it's sounding. So it's on the offbeat for every bar so that we can propel the song forward. It gives it a sense of movement, of motion, like it's progressing somewhere. What I've then done for the open hi-hats is I've just got a single hi-hat beat on the 1 and 3 beats within each of the bars. And so on. Yes, that gives you an idea of how I've actually built up the pattern within the song. In terms of the actual production of the sound, so we've got these two samples sitting in the Impulse instrument chain, but we need to provide other effects that we can add to it to produce the sound into the kind of sound that we want. So these are hi-hat sounds, so they need to be very high up in the frequency range for the song. And as you can see, I've added an EQ8 to both of the instrument channels here for the hats, and I've done a high cut low pass filter EQ at around about 2000 hertz for the open hats. Yeah, and about 2000, 3000 hertz for the closed hats. I've rolled off the closed hat sounds just to because for that it's a consistent sound, so I didn't want it cutting through too much. I wanted it to kind of sit deeper in the mix so you can hear it but not actually overwhelm the sound. And then for the open hats, I've allowed it just to breathe a little bit more in those upper frequency ranges with the decibels, just so it cuts through a little bit more in the mix. You can see I've not really added much more to the closed hat sound, but for the open hat sound, again, I just wanted, because it's less, wanted to give it more ambience, so I've added some reverb to it, and also a transient shaper, which is a third-party plugin, which just allows it to morph as a sound. And that's essentially what I've done for the hi-hats. So in the next video, we'll have a look at the bass synth, and then we'll move on and have a look at some of the other instruments that I've added to the song. So thank you for watching. I hope you found that useful. If you like the video, please, if you found the video helpful, please like the video and hopefully subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks very much.